Hey ASIANA, my name is Devina, also known as Beauty by Devi, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this makeup look. I really don't know what I'm going to call this, to be honest. Like, it's like a neon, I don't know, but I really hope that you enjoy it. I am so obsessed with mixing different concepts together and kind of playing with that line, which is what I kind of tried to create today. I wanted to do something which kind of represented two different aspects of me as a person. One which makes me me and what I was born into is my roots, and that is my Asian heritage, Gujarati gang out here. So I wanted to really incorporate that side of my culture into this, but at the same time my passion is art and always has been, so I wanted to throw in something a little bit more expressive out here. So I wanted to kind of mix the two worlds, so we created something which was arty, expressive, colourful, but also mixing it in with a little bit of culture. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I will let you keep watching. Okay, let's just get going because we've got a lot of work to do. So for foundation, I am going to use my ordinary foundation mixed with my Urban Decay Stay Naked. This is like my favorite combination because these two are like my favorite foundations, so when I mix it, it's like, it's a vibe, it's a vibe. Okay, so I'm just gonna like pump it, like do like one pump of each on the back of my hand, and then I'm just gonna take my damp sponge and start. I feel like my bracelet is gonna be really annoying because, okay, one sec, let me take this off because this is about to be so annoying. Okay, that's better. So I'm just gonna take this literally all over my face. The base is always really important regardless of what look you're doing because it kind of sets the tone for the whole rest of the look, do you know what I mean? I literally feel like I'm like attacking myself. I'm doing it so violently. I need to chill, I need to chill. Okay, now we're going to move over to the eyebrows. I just always prefer doing my brows after my base, to be honest, because I feel like I don't have a reason, I just prefer it this way. I'm going to start by using my Soap Brows product because I've been kind of liking that like sort of fluffier brow, but I still want it to look like fleeky, do you know what I mean? So I feel like using this but with a pomade as well is a nice sort of balance to make sure it's looking like in line, but also it's got a bit of like definition. So I'm gonna take my Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray and I'm just gonna spray it directly like into the soap, onto the soap, into the soap container, but onto the soap. Grammar 101. And then it comes with this little like thing. It's like a disposable spoolie, right? And then you just kind of want to like mix it together in the pan and it kind of froths up a little bit, and then you can just use it straight to your brows and it just like, do you see what I mean? Like the volume just is like, one of the many things us Asian queens are blessed with is full brows. So sometimes less product works really nicely for us because we can use something like this which just instantly like, look at the difference, like it just instantly gives us some like, I keep doing this, I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but it gives us some like definition, some volume, some shape to our natural brows because we are blessed with good brows, so we need to know how to capitalize on that. So I'm concentrating most of the product towards the front of the brow because I really want that to like stick up. Okay, low-key looking like a werewolf, but a cute werewolf, so we move. Okay, now I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade, and this is in the shade Dark Brown. And I'm just going to take a little bit on this flat brush. And I'm just going to use this to kind of fill in the areas which are a little bit sparse, or where I kind of want to perfect the shape a little bit. So I like to take it around the top, just to thicken the tail of my brow a little bit. And then I run it underneath just to sharpen that line. See how that already has just made it so much more defined. So you want to go in with a very light hand and not overdo it with the product. Then you can just go in with the spoolie and brush the hairs where you want them. Alright, now I'm going to take my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and I'm going to take it on a little flat brush, and I'm going to use this just to clean up the brows. So this is just going to make the shape look like just more snatched in general. It just cleans everything up. I feel like this is like the key step to perfecting your brows. So I'm just going to run it underneath. Go as close to the hairs as I can. Now I'm going to do the same concept on the top of the brow, but I'm concentrating this at the tail. I feel like fluffy brows are so in right now, but like I also really like it to look perfect. So I want it fluffy, but also kind of like with some like, you know? Now I'm just going to take a little fluffy brush and just diffuse the edges so that the concealer sort of just blends in. And because I'm a perfectionist, I end up spending like 5 hours on this, but it's really not necessary. Okay, so now I'm going to prime my eyelids. So I'm going to use the same concealer and literally just like directly draw it on my eyelids. I like this because it gives a really clean canvas. And then I'm going to take my sponge and blend it out. And then before it has a chance to crease, I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm just going to push it directly onto my eyelids with the same sponge. My eyelids crease like so easily. They're just like hella problematic. So I need to really push this in so that I don't develop any creases or oiliness throughout the day. Okay, now that's done, we're going to move over to some cream contour. So I'm going to take my Bare Minerals, yeah, it's so minimal. Bare Minerals foundation stick in the shade Chestnut number 9. I love the undertone of this. It's like warm but not overly warm. So it doesn't make you look orange. You can still contour with it, but it also gives you a really nice sort of sun-kissed look, which I love, especially for this time of year. So I'm just taking it to the areas that I want to create a shadow on my face, and it's better to place it just higher than where you actually want it, because when you blend it, it will naturally kind of fall downwards, and if you put it too low, it kind of makes your face look like it's sagging downwards, whereas if you put it a little bit higher, then it kind of gives you more of like a facelift kind of look. Do you know what I mean? And I just do a little bit on my nose just to snatch it a little bit. Even though brown girls unite, like just learn to love your nose. Like I know it's something that so many brown girls kind of like struggle with, but you know what, learn to embrace it because it gives your face character. Now I'm going to take my Real Techniques 004 brush just to blend this out. So I'm just going to kind of lift my skin here just to make it a little bit taut. I'm going to stamp and slowly swipe just in short little motions so that the product isn't moving its placement too much. It's just kind of blending out. It doesn't get too messy that way. So I'm making sure not to take it any lower than the hollows of my cheekbones. And just diffusing it out so that it blends quite naturally. Now I'm just going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush to blend out the nose, just so that we've got a little bit more precision. Okay, now I look like really crazy, but it's fine, like trust the process, trust the process. So now I'm going to move to my under eyes, and I'm literally so in love with this product. It literally changed my makeup game, like I literally love it. It's the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, like halo around this because it's good. So I just take a little bit with a fluffy brush and I just apply it to the areas under my eyes where my darkness is just like the most obvious. So just in the deepest crevice of my under eyes. Okay, now I'm going to take the same concealer. You guys can tell I'm literally obsessed with this concealer. And I'm going to apply it under my eyes. But I'm also using this to kind of like highlight and shape the face. So I'm taking it upwards and taking it down the side of my nose just to assist with our nose contour a little bit as well. And then I put a little bit on my forehead because I want to balance out the colours. For my under eyes, I like to kind of leave it there because the longer that you leave it, the more full coverage the concealer gets. So I'm gonna let her sit there for a minute or two. But in the meantime, we're gonna do the forehead. So if I can find my brush, we can start this, but apparently I cannot. Got it. And I'm just going to blend this out. Now I'm going to take my Lasting Perfection Collection concealer, and this is in the shade Warm Medium 3, and I'm going to use this on my nose. Okay, now I'm going to start blending out the concealer. I feel like I've left it for long enough. And then straight after I've blended it out, I'm going to set it with my Beauty Bakerie translucent powder. That stuff is like, it's really good. Like, you need to try it. It's really underrated and I don't know why, but it's so good. So I'm just pushing it in and you can see it's just giving us a really nice flawless base there. Then I'm just going to take this little brush here, which is quite fluffy. Take a very small amount and just go over it to make sure that I've really covered every area. Taking it down to my smile lines as well. I hold so much expression in my face that like this is like a crucial area for me to set, because otherwise like give it 0.2 seconds and I would have like had a laughing fit and my makeup would have just creased all over my mouth. So this bit is key for me. And then I'm gonna do the same to the forehead area, and I'm concentrating it where I have concealed rather than where the contour is. And set the chin so we've got no shininess coming through. Now with my sponge, I'm just going to kind of pinch it so we've got a little bit more precision and slowly blend this out whilst trying not to move the product too much. Now I'm going to go back in with my sponge and the same powder, and I'm going to pinch the side of the nose with the powder. So it's just going to neaten up our nose contour and make it all a lot more snatched. So you can almost push the product in, so you're kind of like stamping it. And then I'm going to put a little bit down the center just to set that. What am I doing next? What am I doing next? That is a good question. We're going to brush this off. It's just, yeah. Very lightly tap this out so that we brush off the excess powder. Now it is time for bronzer, so I'm going to use my Fenty bronzer, which is in the shade Island Ting, which I feel like is just so amazing for my kind of skin tone. If you've got a similar skin tone to me, honestly, like check out the Fenty bronzers, because Rihanna just like nailed the undertone for us. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not too warm, not too cool. It's like the perfect balance. I love it. So I'm going to take that on my Morphe E4 brush, and I'm just going to basically use it to set the area that we contoured and also kind of just bronze and warm up the skin. So you can see I'm still trying to follow and respect that line and not pass it. Also going to take it to the bottom of my chin and across my jawline. Okay, now it's time for my favourite part, which is actually blush. I feel like you probably thought it was highlighter, but no, not yet. I'm going to go with blush, and I'm going to take my NYX Sweet Cheeks palette, and I use the kind of like, you can ignore that. I'm clumsy, I dropped it and just kind of, yeah, you know the vibe. Anyways, I'm going to take this kind of corally shade over here on the same brush actually, but this time I'm going to use a different motion. I'm going to kind of stamp. I told you I was clumsy. I'm going to kind of stamp it, right? So instead of sweeping it, I'm kind of pressing it on, kind of like the apples of my cheeks, so you can see the placement is different to the bronzer. And I'm slowly diffusing it into the bronzer so they kind of mix a little bit. I also like to put a little bit across my nose because I think it looks kind of cute. I'm going to take my powder again on the sponge and just kind of clean up underneath, because As much as we tried to make sure we didn't go past that line, it naturally still happens. So I'm just gonna very lightly push that, and you can see it's just kind of, you know, like it's just snatched it. It doesn't have to be too precise because you don't want it to literally look like it's been sliced, do you know what I mean? So I don't really leave it, I just go and then I buff it out. So it's cleaned it up, but it doesn't look too harsh. You guys are about to be like blinded. This is about to change the game. I warned you, alright? I warned you. So I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush into my Artist Couture Conceited. Did I spill some? No, I'm good, I'm good. This is like their Diamond Glow powders. These are 10/10 by the way. If you've not tried them, you literally need to. If you're like a highlighter freak, you're gonna die when you try these, like it's insane. I warned you. I told you this was coming. You want to still make sure that you are blending it so it doesn't look like one random streak. I'm gonna highlight. Yeah, I know, that was mad. I'm gonna highlight the underneath of my brow bone. And I'm also gonna take it to my inner corner. Now it's about to get a little bit exciting. A little bit, or very. Okay, very. We're gonna go a bit crazy. If you wanna leave the base as it is and then do whatever you want on the eyes and then throw on a pair of lashes, then you could be good to go. But I am so extra that that's literally not physically possible. So we are gonna go and do something kind of crazy on the face. I want to do something really, really colourful, bold, and you know, I want it to be like showing so much expression. I want it to be expressive. You know what I mean? Like I want it to say something. So that is what we're aiming for. So let's go because we've got a lot to do. So I've got these like Hydra FX liners, which I love. These are great. If you like being creative, then you definitely need to get your hands on these. I'm just gonna have to rip it because these nails do not allow for packaging. These are water activated, so I've just put a little bit of water into the lid. And then I am going to damp my brush in the water. And then put it straight into the product and swirl it around. And then we're good to go, really. I love these. I love these pigments. They're actually just life. So I like to follow the natural contours of my face because that way it's going to be like the most complementary while still looking like artistic and cool. So now I'm going to go into the pink one. Add a little bit. Do you know what? It's really important to remember that like with makeup, there literally are no rules. You can do what you want and you can use it to express what you want. That's literally the beauty of it. It's like my favorite thing about makeup. Like you can mold it into whatever you want it to be. Now I'm going to take the fluffy brush, wet it just slightly, and dab it into oh my god, I dropped it, and dab it into the product, and then you get a more textured kind of look. I'm just gonna sort of layer the colors and buff them into each other. I'm gonna be kind of crazy and I'm gonna take it down here. These need to come off, so this is gonna take me like 3 hours to take all these off, so I'm just gonna catch you when I've taken them off. Now I'm gonna take a black liquid eyeliner and I'm gonna use it just to give us a little bit of precision to these lines. So it just kind of gives it some accents. Now I'm gonna take my Revolution SFX makeup palette, which I love. It's kind of like a hybrid between paints and makeup, which is really, really cool. And I'm gonna use the black and use it alongside what we have. Now I'm gonna take some of the deeper shades. I'm gonna take the blue on like this fluffy brush, and I'm gonna start to sort of layer this. I feel like blue just always makes everything pop, and I love the power that that color has. I feel like it's important not to be scared of color. I think that is like a common thing nowadays. People are really scared to use color because it can be quite bold, but like, go for it, play with it, and see what you can get. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna go in with some purple and just sort of layer it. The yellow always changes the game. And now I'm just gonna really start layering these colors up. Now I'm taking the white Fenty Beauty liner with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to use it just to add some highlights. So I'm going to take the black Fenty Beauty liner with this little brush, and we're going to just define the eyes a little bit. So I really like to make my eyes kind of wing out at the sides. So I'm going to go really close to the lash line and sort of draw this shape on the outer third of my eye. And then what we're going to do is we're going to wing it out. So you can see we've done one really long line, and we're just going to join it here. I'm going to take that same style brush, I'm going to go into the yellow, and I'm going to do like a yellow graphic liner parallel to the black. Okay, so I decided to kind of stop the yellow because I kind of liked how it looked, just being kind of on like half of the eye instead of making it all the way parallel. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another yellow line, and we're going to go just underneath the wing. Okay, now the lashes are on and it's starting to kind of like come together a bit, you know? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dark brown kohl eyeliner from Natural Collection, and I'm just going to line the very outer corner of my eyes just to kind of define it a little bit. I like to use dark brown instead of black because it's a lot less harsh, so it's like just a little bit softer. Okay, now I want to take it to the collarbones because I feel like it's just a really nice natural feature to complement. So I am going to kind of continue these lines across that area. Ooh, got a drip going and I'm kind of feeling it, but I kind of want to stop it. How do I stop the drip? I'm going to take the pink on a little liner brush and just do a little detail on the bottom inner corners just to make it pop on the lower half a little bit because it looks a bit empty right now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this here, I'm going to sort out the hair, and then we'll come back and do the lip because I'm literally not going to be able to move my mouth once that's done, so trying to think ahead here. Okay, I am back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Morphe lip liner in the shade Bite Me, which is like a really dark brown. I say really dark, it's not really that dark, it's just a dark brown. And I'm going to line my lips, but I'm gonna kind of, because we've got this whole thing where we've kind of accentuated every outline on the face and body, I'm going to mirror the same kind of concept. So I'm not really going to blend it, and I'm gonna make them very, very kind of like sharp lines. As I said, I love doing like hybrids between looks. So I think the thing that's gonna really, really finish this off is to put like an Asian spin on it. So give me 2 seconds and I'm gonna go and put a bit of an Asian spin on this. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I really hope that you like it and that you enjoyed this tutorial. Sending you guys so much creativity, love and positivity your way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.